When it comes to lighting, one brand has always been at the cusp of pushing technology and new, fresh ideas to make it more interesting for those that need lighting solutions. We're talking, of course, about ODX. Of course, started with some very traditional, light bulb options, has always been pushing the envelope, and we are super excited to have both Kevin and Maxim on the show today because, of course, they've got some new tricks up their sleeve. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about ODX lighting. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We're talking lighting category, and of course, we can't be talking about lighting without the crew from ODX joining us. Guys, welcome to the show. Listen, every year you never cease to impress and surprise me with something new, so when I saw the show was coming up, I couldn't help but wonder, what do these guys have up their sleeve this year? Guys, welcome to the show. What are we going to be talking about?
How's it going, Ben? So today we are actually going to talk about a couple of new products and just a reminder on other products that we have. So today we're going to be talking about the brand new product, which is the ODX Switch. We're also going to be talking about the ODX Blynk, and we'll go through the ODX Firebird series and finalize it with the ODX Snowy.
Well, I recognize the last two, Kevin, but the first two, Swytch, Blynk, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out more because first we got to go to our partner SiriusXM that reminds everybody it's always a great add-on sale. And when we come back, new ODX goodies in the house. Don't you dare go away.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. We're talking with the boys from ODX, and let's start with something fresh, something new. You said it before the break. What can you tell us about the brand new ODX Switch? What is it, and what does it do?
Yeah, man. So as everybody knows, we launched the Firebird last year, and we came out to an agreement in the team. Like, we need a way to make connection easier and faster for everyone. Usually you need to drill through a firewall, put the switches, like relay harness, connect to the battery and everything. And we decided to pinpoint a way to make it work easier, better, faster, and using the new technology, which is CarPlay and Android Auto. So we'll get you more in depth with the Switch device, which is a wireless Bluetooth relay, solid state relay.
All right, so what I understand so far, we're talking about a device that allows you to control your lighting, but you mentioned two things that are super intriguing. First being Bluetooth, and did you say CarPlay?
You're right, Ben. CarPlay has been a really attractive device and component on the new cars nowadays, and we finally found a way to get our way into CarPlay. We're one of the first company across North America, if it's not worldwide, that uses the CarPlay to activate the hardware from the CarPlay software device. So we can switch over our light bars, like we said earlier, the Firebird. That's the main point why we developed the module itself. But we found out that there's so many other options and so many other ways to use the relay itself. So we'll go more into depth with you on the presentation for the Switch. But as you can see, it's app-driven, Bluetooth controlled, and CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. So you really see on your CarPlay screen, you can activate your relay from your OEM CarPlay screen without having to drill any holes in the firewall and just have it hardware anywhere. So it's really plug and play from your factory screen on your car.
And there's also going to be multiple types of switches. You could have just your basic toggle on, toggle off, but then you could have a momentary switch. You could have when the engine is running, it could be switched on. It could have a speed activated. So there's much more. There's going to be many different types of switches. As you can see, Max is showing all the different types of icons. So this is not only for light bars. You could be running an electric fan. You could be running a winch. Rock lights, underglow. The possibilities are endless with this product.
So guys, I got to tell you, I really love the story here. You guys started years ago with just simple light bulb replacement. From there, we expanded into stuff like light bars, and now you're bringing it all together into what potentially is the world's first CarPlay Android Auto driven wireless Bluetooth lighting system or other controller. That's what it is. I already love the concept. You mentioned it a few times, and if you guys didn't catch that, because the module is Bluetooth, there is no more drilling through the firewall. Everything can be kept within the engine bay. Now, guys, this is a very innovative product. Talk to us a little bit about, the concept behind this, and where do you see this going?
Well, the concept behind it is, as we said, a lot of times with newer vehicles, it's a lot more difficult to pass switches and wiring into not the engine bay, but the cockpit of the vehicle. And a lot of times vehicles are leased. They're not. You don't fully own the vehicle, and you have to return it in 3-4 years. So people are adding light bars and a taxi light and a winch or anything like that. They don't want to be drilling through the firewall, passing wires and everything. They want it to keep it most OEM as possible. So this is really a solution that, ODX, we work a lot with our clients. We discuss with a lot of our dealers. So we bounce ideas back and forth, and we try to come up with solutions for them to make everybody's life easier. So that's pretty much. And with the technological advancements we have nowadays, it opens the doors to release products like this.
Now, one last thing about the Switch before I let you go. From a physical standpoint, I'm going to imagine that this is going to be developed and protected from the elements, weather, waterproof, that type of thing. What about the actual relays themselves?
Yeah, so obviously our relays are epoxy pods, so they're fully weatherproof. It's not only a relay, it's actually a solid state relay. We call it relay because people know what a relay is, and it's easier for everyone to understand. But a solid state, the advantage of that one is we can actually dim, strobe, we can send some PWM, pulse width modulation in order to control a dim mode, or like I said, a strobe mode. We can control and strobe pretty much any 12-volt accessories. It's really a new up-to-date design. It's a new technology that we worked on, and the good thing about it too, it's a one-channel relay, right? So you can add up to, if you want 40 relays on the same vehicle, and you can drive each and every channel individually. So you don't have to buy one, let's say a six gang switch box that switch different items. If you only have one light bar or 2 light bars, you just get one per item. One per device that you want to control, and then you can just control that one directly. Power ground to the battery, that's the only thing you need to do. So it's really easy install, doesn't bring power. It's less than 0.02 amp per relay device. So there's no worries about draining your battery at all, and nothing.
And a cool thing, as Max was saying, you can have multiple devices within the app. You're going to be able to group devices. So you could have a group of forward-facing lights, and you'll be able to toggle them on and off through one switch, but it'll be turning on multiple products.
I'll tell you what, I think this new ODX Switch system has some legs, and it's going to make some waves for sure. All right, we got some more new product to talk about. Next up on the menu is a new type of light. It's a standalone light. We're going to get the boys to talk about it a little bit more, but this time it's called the ODX Blynk. What can you tell us, guys?
All right, Ben, so you're right. We came out with a new product, a new light bar, work light with a strobe light built in. So instead of having 2 different devices on, let's say, snowplows and construction trucks or service vehicles, you're actually having only one device that makes the work light and the strobe light all together combined. I'll let Kevin introduce you to the product itself.
Yeah, so starting with the work light aspect, it is comparable to 900 lumens, and it is a flood beam. So as it says it in the name, it floods light in front of the vehicle or in the back, depending how you face your work lights. Now, the second aspect of it is the strobe light. So the strobe light actually has 8 different flash modes. So the first 4 flash modes will strobe its light at 180 degrees. So that's really important when you're installing them, let's say at the front of a tractor, and you turn on your warning lights. You don't want to get blinded by your own strobe lights. So you have 4 modes that only shine at 180 degrees. Then you have another 4 additional modes that will shine the strobe light 360 degrees. So you'll have the warning all the way around. That's more suitable if you have the lights, the work lights mounted on, the roof or the back of the vehicle. Now, the housing of the ODX Blynk is made out of heavy duty aluminum and the lens is polycarbonate. The waterproof rating on this is IP67 and IP69K. Now, the wiring for the ODX Blynk is 20 centimeters long from the light to the connector, and from the other part of the harness is 80 centimeters long, and it includes high amperage DTP connectors. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, for the strobe light aspect, you could have the ability to link all your lights or sync them all together. So you could press a switch, and as you can see on the screen, these strobe lights will sync all together because you could have multiple ODX Blynks mounted on a vehicle. Another really cool thing about the ODX Blynk is the voltage, the working voltage. This work light will work starting at 10 volts all the way to 90 volts. So for people with, let's say, a forklift that I think are roughly work at 60 volts, you could install this product on a forklift or whatever else that has a really high voltage that usually regular work lights won't work at that voltage.
I love it, love it, love it, guys. Again, that ODX ingenuity kind of built in, and it totally makes sense. Work light and strobe together, amazing package. All right, we're talking about auxiliary lighting. I would be remiss if we didn't bring up a newer, it's not the newest, but it did come out recently, and it was called the Firebird light bar. So here we go. Let's revisit it. It's that time of the year. Days are getting short. Nights are getting dark. This could be a great option for some people out there.
So now we're going to talk about the ODX Firebird. As you said, Ben, days are getting shorter, nights are getting longer, but not only that, winter is right around the corner. So the Firebird is our heated modular LED light bars. And we'll start with the heated aspect. So LED is not the warmest light source, and on a regular light bar, you could have snow or ice buildup on the lens of your light bar. So what we did is we created a heated aspect, which does not use a heating element. The reason I mention that is you can have a light bar with a heating element, but they are very sensitive. So you could get a small stone chip that will pretty much disable your heating element at all. So you're going to lose that heating aspect. So what we do is we have a built-in temperature sensor that will sense below freezing, and that's when it'll start heating. It'll turn up the intensity of the LEDs in order to generate more heat, enough to melt the ice or snow that is built up on the lens. So what it'll do is it'll heat for about 30 minutes. It'll take a 30-minute break. And after that 30-minute break, it will recheck the temperature of the light bar. And if it's below freezing, it'll restart that process of heating for 30 minutes. Now, the second aspect, as I mentioned, is a modular light bar. So as you can see, Max is showing here, this is our 10-inch lens version. They have end caps on each side that you can remove, and you could link it with another 10-inch or 2 other 10 inches. So, you could go 10, 20, 30, 40, and all you have to do is just link them together with all the included hardware. And same thing for the power is you could decide if you want to hook up the power, from the left or the right of the light bar. As you can see the connectors on the back. And what's cool is when you link them up together, you could see right here on the image is you could link that you just daisy chain the light bars together. So that's another really cool aspect of the Firebird. So when you have just a 10-inch Firebird, it's comparable to 8,500 lumens. When you go to a 20-inch, you're boasting out comparable to 17,000 lumens. And the Firebird is a spot beam, so you're going to get a lot of distance out of your beam. Now, another cool aspect that I didn't mention is, we could link them together. You could also stack them instead of linking them together. So when you purchase the 20 or when you purchase the accessory kit, you can use the stack brackets. So as you can see in the image right here, and you could stack one on top of each other. So you could really go get that crazy power. So if you could have 2 10 inches on the left side of your vehicle and 2 10 inches on the right side of your vehicle, and you're going to be going to get a lot of distance and lighting with the Firebird.
It's funny, Kev, I can't help but think of those crazy guys out there that'll literally make a wall of Firebird in front of their trucks because you can stack them. All right, our final product that we're going to be covering here is something that Well, if you're a snowmobiler and you're into sledding, this is going to be an amazing option for you guys. It's called the Snowy for a reason. It's kind of like a bi-color solution for your snowmobile.
So yeah, I know a lot of people are really anxious for the winter to come, and let's hope that's going to be a good winter with lots of snow, because the past 2 seasons haven't been too great. But yeah, we have the ODX Snowy, which is a purposely made kit only for snowmobiles. So as you said, it is a bicolor LED bulb or LED kit. So the way it works is, first of all, a white LED, a 6500K LED an LED is a very reflective light source. So when you're, in regular conditions, everything's good. You're going to get a lot of distance through your lights. But if you're riding in conditions that have, lots of fog, if you're in a snowstorm and you have like snow falling, or even if you're following one of your riders and that sled is throwing up a lot of snow mist, the white LED, the 6500K LED, is actually going to light up the snow or the fog, and it's going to blind you. It's going to create like a white blinding wall of light. So what we did is we created an LED kit that has a warm white 3000K light on the low beams, and it has on the high beams, you'll switch back to your regular 6500K, cool white light. So you really have the best of both worlds. You have the two options. So depending on your riding conditions, you can decide whether you want your warm white or your cool white. And this kit is comparable to 8,000 lumens. So, anybody that's sledding, you absolutely need these. I run this on my sled. Max runs them on his sled, and everybody that we come across on the trails that have the same kit, they just absolutely love the Snowy.
And that is both Kevin and Max from the ODX team joining us, giving us the good word on some new product and some tried and true products that are definitely going to find themselves onto vehicles this coming season. Now, if you want more information on any of the products that we talked about on today's show, make sure you head on over to odxled.com. Now, my takeaway, listen, guys, ODX makes some fantastic products. They make some fantastic solutions. I'm going to say it, though. I think we hit something today with their brand new Switch system. Listen, I'm not taking away from the Firebird or the Blynk, but let me tell you, the system that they are presenting here today with being able to control a lighting, regardless of the system design that you want or how many or the type of switching that you need, to be able to do it not only Bluetooth and wireless, but to go through the CarPlay and Android Auto system. Guys, I got to give my hats off. This is innovative stuff, which is absolutely cutting edge, and I think this is going to make a lot of noise, not only for enthusiasts that really want to equip their vehicles, but also for the installers putting this stuff in. It'll be clean, it's going to work every time, and it is absolutely sexy. That's it. Thank you for tuning in for this CMA Connected. Congrats to ODX for this new stuff. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.